Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of 10 years ago. Now tonight, we're going to be talking about this one, Vengeance 2002. Can't have been shit, so that can't have been that bad, can it? I bought it on VHS, oh yes. Ladies and gentlemen, bear with me a sec. Window's already open, but forgot to open my cider. Like it is. So there's only one really big newsworthy item between King of the Ring and this show, in my humble opinion, and that is Vince McMahon bringing in general managers for Raw and SmackDown. For SmackDown, fresh off losing loser must leave kind of match. She teamed up with Chris Jericho to take on Triple H. The stipulation being that if she lost, she was out of the WWF. Sorry, the WWE. It was the WWF at the time, wasn't it? That was on what? March the 25th. Yeah, so what? 4 months away? Here's Stephanie McMahon. And she was an odd choice because one of the things that always bothered me about Steph, and I may talk about this on future episodes of 10 years ago, is that in one segment she'd be a heel and she'd be essentially talking down to a guy who towers above her and is fucking huge. But then the very next segment she could play babyface. What was even more interesting about Stephanie McMahon being the GM there is that the people seem to absolutely freaking love her, which I never understood, but hey, because she's got the most annoying voice in the freaking world, hasn't she? But she's a McMahon, so it was always, she was always going to find a way to come back somehow, wasn't she? We all know this. But the big shock was the Raw GM, because they chose Eric Bischoff as the Raw GM, and this potentially could have been enormous. And why I say that is because they could have splintered off a feud between Vince and Eric Bischoff, yeah? And the thing was, done right, it could have been done brilliantly because, Bischoff tried to put Vince out of business. He said he'd rather cut his arm off than work for Vince in an interview in 1999 or 1997. One of the two, probably 1998 knowing me because I'm an idiot. But yeah, Eric Bischoff comes out, and my very first thought as he's coming out is, oh, this is money, this is golden. We're going to get the Hogan. They've taken a license to print money and just flushed it away. It's like they've got $100 bill note and just, fuck that. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. But at the same time, I think Vince brought Eric in for one purpose and one purpose only, and that is to humiliate him. They give him the GM and they'll have him do all sorts of crazy shit and have him, an authority figure on TV, but he has no authority whatsoever backstage. And think about some of the things that they're going to be doing to him in the next couple of years. And you're just like, brought in to be humiliated. Anyway, Michael Cole and Taz will do the commentary for the first half of this show. JR and King do the second. Lucky us, eh? Fortunately, at the next pay-per-view, SummerSlam, they alternate between Raw and SmackDown. But the first half of the show is called by Cole. Yay! And the first match, Bubba and Spike Dudley defeating Eddie Gurrero and Chris Benoit in an OK Tables match. So this is Chris Benoit's first pay-per-view match as opposed to pay-per-view appearance since King of the Ring 2001, so a calendar year has gone by. Good to see that the Buyrate Dudley experiment has failed so epically since the draft, which was in March, April, already making a version of the Dudley Boys already. That can't be good, can it? So yeah, this isn't a bad match at all. As Bubba plays face in peril, which I think is very odd. It's an odd dynamic because he's the bigger of the two. Is that you'd expect Spike to play the face in peril and then make the hot tag to Bubba, but that's not good. So nice dive to outside by Spike, but he pays for it as Benoit batters him on the outside. They set up a table and try a double superplex, but Spike moves the table out of the way. But oddly, one of its sets of legs snaps off, and you're like, well, how the hell's that just happened? It means they have to bring another table. They put it in the corner, go to whip Spike into it. This time it's Bubba who makes the save, and he basically, as Spike's running across the ring, Bubba spears him out of the way. Essentially, that's a nice little thing. The faces clean house, including doing the weather. But Spike walks into a crossface. Bubba breaks it and hits a Samoan drop. He puts Benoit on a table, goes for a senton, but Benoit moves, so Bubba crashes and burns. Spike eliminates Eddie with an acid drop, which looks fecking awful because he does it off the apron, and basically Spike, think about how the way the acid drop, or the Dudley dog if you don't know what I'm on about, is done. Spike crashes through the table, Eddie, his face bounces off the table. It doesn't look good at all, it really doesn't. He goes for an acid drop on Benoit, but Benoit, calm as you like, just picks him up and basically press slams him over the top rope where there conveniently is a table set up on the outside. Through you go. That leaves Benoit and Bubba. Are they going to do a long, drawn-out tension builder? Are they Benoit walks into a Bubba bomb, bam, through the table, and that's it. And you're just like, ugh. This was heading towards a 3-star match. I was really enjoying it, but those quick endings made me go, oh, God. And also, in this match, the crowd were deathly quiet at times. You've got to feel sorry for Eddie Gurrero as well as in this one, haven't you? Remember what I said in my last 10 years ago episode? He was meant to be programmed with Kurt Angle, idiot, with Stone Cold Steve Austin, yeah? He then went into a match against Ric Flair, and now he's in the opener, losing to the blowing Dudleys. Poor Eddie Gurrero. Next. Oh, I'll have a mouthful, I might. My first kind of cider in ages. So, Jamie Noble defeating Billy Kidman in a good match to retain the Cruiserweight Championship. So Noble takes control early in this one and starts to work the arm. Here's a single arm DDT on the outside, for example. He posts the arm, gets in the ring, he continues on the arm. But when Kidman starts getting a bit of offense in, goes to lift up Noble, yeah, and can't lift him because the arm's injured, which makes me so very happy. I'm an idiot. One mouthful. Happy. Why not? And then Noble notices it and goes straight back to the arm. And I'm sat there freaking loving this. He puts a key lock on. Kidman comes back with a Rana and a neck breaker, selling the arm after each move. Brilliant. Noble comes back with an arm breaker and an arm bar. The crowd don't give a shit in any way. The crowd are deathly quiet. I'm loving it. Powerbomb was counted into it because, of course, you can't powerbomb Kidman. We all know that one. It's counted into a lovely face buster by Kidman for 2. He goes up top. Kidman stops him, but gets hit with a Rydian bomb off the top. I've just put massive bomb here, but I just remembered it's not called that. Kidman shakes out the arm as he he hits the Rydian bomb. 1, 2. Noble kicks out. He sells the arm afterwards. Brilliant. Absolutely fantastic. Botches the tornado DDT counter spot. Kidman goes up again, but misses the shooting star press. Roll gets 2 for Noble, and then in one of those moments that bugs me more than you could possibly imagine, what do you think Noble wins with after working the arm the entire match? That's right, a fucking Tiger Driver. And you're like, what? A Tiger Bomb, sorry. No, it is a Tiger Driver, isn't it? With flips and... Well, it's both. You know, it's... Right, I love psychology. I love psychology. It's what I look for in every single match I watch. If your match doesn't have psychology, then I'm not as interested as I could have been. You know? This match was easily heading towards 3 stars, yeah? But it loses half a star on its own for the psychology lack of in the end. Because what's the point in doing... I'd rather see no psychology whatsoever and see a spot fest than people putting the effort in and then the finish not having it in. That's just so stupid. It really bugs me. And also, the crowd were non-existent for this one, so it's only a 2-star match. In the back, we have a little segment with Kurt Angle and Brock Lesnar as they're introduced to each other. And rah-de-rah-de-rah. There's nothing special about this at all, but after Lesnar had said his little bit, the camera stays on Angle and says, my God, he's full of himself. I hate pompous people. Absolutely superb. Next, Jeff Hardy defeating William Regal in a poor match to retain the European Championship. European Championship's last hurrah as it's unified with the Intercontinental Championship the next night on Raw in a ladder match. Knowing that kind of makes me feel like this match is utterly pointless. But let's be honest here, wasn't the European Championship pointless? Oh yes, it was. The match has nothing of note other than botches by Jeff, because there's quite a few of them. And let's be honest, Jeff doesn't look like he gives a shit in any way, shape, or form in this one. Yeah, fluke roll up gets crap finish of the fucking night number 2. You know, bothers me. 3 matches, 2 crap finishes. Next, as my computer refuses to scroll down, and that's a dud, by the way. That match had that little in it. I mean, you'd expect it on Raw, and you know, if you saw this match on Raw, you go, that wasn't very good, was it? Next, John Cena defeating Chris Jericho in an okay match. This is John Cena's first ever pay-per-view match. It is significant. These two had a good match on SmackDown the week before this show, but it ended with Jericho hitting Cena with a chair. Cena debuted the previous week, there's Ruthless Aggression, having a pretty damn good match with Kurt Angle, to be honest. And that's the problem with John Cena, wasn't it? The problem with John Cena back then was that when he was programmed against someone who could carry him to a decent match, he looked good. But if you put him against someone who isn't too great, he looked really oh wait, that's still how it is, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, that's good to know that 10 years later, the guy hasn't changed in any way, shape or form. Cena makes me laugh when he comes out. He's got red attire. It's all matching attire. Do you remember back then? His whole attire would match. His boots, his knee pads, his trunks, whatever. Also, he's got generic rock music number 4 as his fucking entrance theme, I'm sure of it. Jericho had used a chair to get the disqualification on SmackDown. Yeah, he tried to hit him with a chair, but Cena used the chair and said, okay match, telling a good story though. Veteran versus rookie. Jericho refused to take Cena seriously and was basically battering him. But every time that Cena got a chance, he would use some offense. An offense that you just don't see him use. A tilt-a-whirl slam, for example, by John Cena. And you're watching that going, where did that just come from? And he hits an alright-looking belly-to-belly suplex as well. But then, for shit finish number 3 of the night, he counters the Walls of Jericho into a roll-up, which just looks like a fluke, man. And you're just like, oh, god damn it. So, JR and the King come out, so got no more coal for the rest of the night, which makes me a very, very, very happy young man. As next, RVD defeating Brock Lesnar to retain the good Intercontinental Championship. Retain the good. Look, now that's what you get for reading your notes as they're written on you. Even though I'm doing this on a computer to avoid mistakes nowadays, that line says RVD defeated Brock Lesnar to obtain the good Intercontinental Championships in an okay match. Why is there a good in the middle of that? That doesn't make any sense. That's not even like I put it in my mistake, in the wrong. It's like I put it in the wrong place. But it already says in an okay match. Yeah. First match of the night that has a build-up package. This one, first one, they showed us this is what happened last week on SmackDown in the Cena Jericho match. But this was the first one that had a actual build-up package in which we saw Paul Heyman taking Van Terminator, which gets props from me, if I'm honest. The crowd were more vocal for this one than any of them my so far. They picked up a lot for this one. There's a lovely spot where Lesnar catches RVD on the outside. RVD goes through a moonsault. Lesnar catches him. Carnage like power slams him. Fantastic, really like that. Brock proceeds to batter RVD, hits a big gutbuster, a backbreaker, an overhead belly to belly. JR in one of those. Oh, fantastic. Excuse me. JR says that Paul Heyman is a large hemorrhoid on the lips of life. Can't go wrong with that one, can we? RVD gets a few kicks in, but when Lesnar comes back, he comes up with submission moves. He hits a bear hug, locks on an abdominal stretch. And this match is starting to come across as a bit of a squash, to be honest. But I don't care, because I've been saying for weeks, haven't I? For months, sorry, on this series, that Lesnar's look vulnerable. And in this match, he doesn't at all. Oh, dear me. RVD comes back with kicks and a rolling thunder for 2. Paul Heyman, while that cover was going down, do you know his helpful advice to his client was? Don't lose! Genius. With advice like that, I could do anything, to be honest, couldn't I? Lesnar goes for the F5. Van Dam countered it into a lovely DDT. 5-star only gets 2. As get this, Heyman pulls Van Dam out of the ring and the referee disqualifies Lesnar for fucking shit finish. Number 4 of the night, in a night that's becoming a night of shit finishes, is it not? Van Dam gets a measure of revenge with a dive onto Lesnar, then goes for a Van Terminator, but Heyman stops him, enabling Lesnar to hit a fisherman suplex on a chair, and then an F5 on that same chair, which is lovely. Match should have been non-title, in my opinion. I think having it for the Intercontinental Championship just made it, was redundant. I understand they have to have some sort of finish. If it had been non-title, though, RVD could have lost comfortably, but maybe that's just me. Match, the finish was crap. The crowd helped because they were so damn vocal. Another 2-star match in a show that seems to be fecking full of them. Actually, no, this next one isn't. And this is Booker T defeating the Big Slow in a crap no disqualification match, frankly. As this one comes about as Booker T was kicked out of the underwear in June. And that's nice. And that's about it. Booker had beaten Big Slow on Raw. Slow had demanded a no disqualification match to Bischoff. And it's been granted. And that's it. And there is nothing of note in the start of this one at all. They brawl outside. Booker hits an axe kick through one of the announce tables, and that looked good. And then in the ring, Booker gets another axe kick, and then hits the Harlem Hangover, which JR goes absolutely fucking nuts for, and that gets the win. Right person won, but the match was absolutely nothing half a star. And then, in a bit, if you haven't seen this show, I'm sure you've heard about this one. It's the Triple H segment that takes 20 minutes, and basically, I ain't going to talk about it. If you want to go and see it on, it's on YouTube somewhere. But the crux of it, Raw Triple H is meant to go to Raw or SmackDown, thus making this. You think to yourself, why can't this segment have been on Raw or SmackDown? And basically, blah blah blah, blah blah blah, blah blah and or blah. Shawn Michaels comes out, come to Raw. Yes, I will actually. That's your segment. 20 minutes. This took 20 long minutes. 2 matches to go. So we've got Lance Storm and Christian defeating Hulk Hogan and Edge in an OK match to win the tag team titles. Hogan and Edge won the tag team titles on July the 4th. Hey, it's Independence Day in America. Flag waving. Hulk Hogan, real American. Yada yada yada. Seem to have forgotten that Edge is Canadian. Yeah, surely, it's 4th of July is utterly irrelevant to him. Also in this, the start of this one, before we go on, JR notes that Edge was in attendance when Hogan met Warrior at WrestleMania 3. He then corrects himself. Oh, this is genius. I want to correct myself, he says. It was WrestleMania 6, not WrestleMania 3. WrestleMania 3 was right here in Chicago. On form tonight, Jim. Well done. Anyway, awful. Match plods along nicely. Edge plays face in peril for a bit before the obligatory hot tag to Hogan, who hulks up, hits a boot leg drop combo on Christian. Storm makes the save, knocks him to the outside, and hits a super kick. It's all good. Hogan looks awful in this match. Really slow. Everything he does looks like it's in slow motion. I know he's an old man before you get on me. I know, trust me. But come on. No, it's like at one point one of the Americans, I forget which, goes for a cover, and it looks like Hogan's meant to get in the ring and break it up, In the time that they get to 2, Hogan's got 1 leg through the ropes. Dear me, awful, just terrible. Anyway, Edge gets a hot tag, clean house, but the referee gets bumped, and Tess runs out and hits the big boot on Edge. Storm covers, but only gets 2 as Edge kicks out to an absolutely thunderous pop, guys. Rikishi then makes a save, whoop-de-doo. Spear on Storm, but Christian distracts the ref, enabling Jericho to come out and nail Edge with one of the title belts to get the win. Well, it wasn't going to be Hogan getting to do the job, really, was it? Oh, look, another shit finish, yay. Not bad, not great. Crowd were red hot for this one, but another crappy finish lets it down and means that, goddamn, for another one, it's a 2-star match. It's just a show of 2-star matches. They're okay. They could have been better. I'm sure there's people out there who would rate each of these matches 2.5, 3 stars, but because of these shit finishes, man. God damn. So then, finally, The Rock defeating Kurt Angle and The Undertaker in a good match, actually, to win the WWE Undisputed Championship. So, we all know that Rock interfered in the main event at King of the Ring between Undertaker and Triple H. So, Undertaker, after he retained against Triple H, obviously, he wanted Rock real bad. But on SmackDown, he had to face Kurt Angle for the championship. And they did a finish where Undertaker got Kurt Angle to do a last ride, slammed him down, but Angle had held on and put him on a triangle choke while he was in midair. So at the exact same point that Taker tapped out, he pinned Angle at the same time. It was a double finish. It was a draw, So you had 2 number 1 contenders, essentially. It makes sense. It makes sense. Well, not, it doesn't make sense. Rock doesn't deserve a title shot just for interfering in a match. It doesn't work like that. You need a reason to. But at the end of the day, they had 2 guys. Undertaker wanted Rock. That'll do. They fought, Undertaker and Angle had fought to a draw. There you are. It's a triple threat match. The logic does kind of make sense. We like that. Anyway, Rock's pop wasn't very loud when he came out. They were, noticeably quiet. There was quite a yay! And then while he was coming out, it was quiet. Wow, that's really weird. Anyway, epic moment as The Rock and Taker start off and they're talking trash, and they're talking to each other, and Angle's here sort of trying to get their attention like this, and he goes, he shoves them both and goes, I'm Kurt Angle, and they both Rock and Taker just go and it's like, oh, fantastic, really makes me smile. They both go at it and they brawl, including a belly to belly by Rock. A German suplex by Kurt Angle is called a belly to belly by JR, who clearly is on form tonight. Oh yes. Angle with an actual pair of belly to belly suplexes, but Rock comes back with a DDT for 2. Brawling on the outside is followed by brawling on the inside, leading to Rock hitting a choke slam for 2, like that, and so did the crowd. Ankle lock by Angle on Rock is reversed into a rock bottom by Kurt. Amazing! That gets 2 as Taker breaks it, and it's an Angle slam on Angle, so everyone's finishes everywhere, and the crowd are lapping it up, as am I. I'm thinking, this is cool. They're all using each other's finishing moves. 10 years before Ring of Honor were doing it, or 5 years before Ring of Honor were doing it in every single match. That's not fair. They just kick out of everyone's finish, not actually steal everyone's finish. I do apologise to Ring of Honor fans. Anyway, where were we? Angle slam on the man himself. Rock hits a spine buster and the people's elbow, but Angle pulls him out and covers Taker for 2. Angle and Taker go out on the outside until... Oh, look at that. It's all written in capitals. Just bear with me a second. This will be worth it, trust me. Until. It's until. Rock breaks up their brawling. Say it with me, folks, because you're not going to get a chance to say this one for a long time. Rock comes back with the caffeinated water of doom! Yes! God, he hasn't done that for fecking ages. Angle in the melee is busted open. He gets drilled with the rope walk of death, but he only gets 2 as Rock breaks it, but then he gets a massive DDT from Taker for 2. He goes for a chokeslam, but Angle breaks it and gets pinballed. You know what that means? Punching from person to person. Obviously, Rock Bottom is countered. A chokeslam is countered into a ref bloody bump, which enables Angle to unleash a ungodly huge chair shot on Taker. And an Angle slam on Rock gets 2. Scorpion King Deathlock by Rock is broken by Taker. Last ride, but Angle clamps on the ankle lock before he can cover. Taker counters and goes for the last ride, but Angle tries to put on the triangle choke from SmackDown. Doesn't look even half as nice as it did on SmackDown, but you know. Taker tries to powerbomb out of it, but Angle holds on because he actually is Superman. Gotta say, little mention here, Angle's wearing a red, white, and blue camouflage gear tonight, and it looks fecking brilliant. It really does look nice. Not really trying sure how he could camouflage himself from that, but well, yeah. Anyway, yes, that was lifted straight from Top Geese. Don't worry, it was. And now I'm lost again. Referee tries the arms. 1, 2. Rock stops the third. Rock Bottom is counted into an ankle lock. It's then counted into a roll-up cover for 2. Choke slam for Angle. Rock Bottom for Taker, but it only gets 2 in a close near fall as the crowd are going absolutely fucking batshit. They really are. Excuse me, I'm burping all over the place. I've decided. Roll up Angle gets 2. Angle slam on Taker, and he sort of, he does the Angle slam, sort of lumps him over, and sort of turns around, the way that he likes to celebrate. Whoa! Turns around, walks straight into the match-winning Rock Bottom. 1, 2, 3 at 19 minutes and 34 seconds. Oh yes, and I enjoyed this one a lot. Let's talk about this one realistically. The crowd were red hot for it, right? The crowd was super hot for it. But the thing about this match is, don't go onto my screen, save you little bastard. The thing about this match is, it really was just big move, 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 finish. There was no substance or story to it at all. The problem with that, the flip side, is that I actually really enjoyed it. I really, really got a kick out of this match. It's 3.5 stars, I think. If there'd actually been a bit of storytelling to it, it would have been higher, is the fact. So, to sum up, this is a show chock full of shit finishes, which means that I have to knock points off pretty much every match. Yeah, there's a lot of matches that are 2 stars that would have been higher had they had decent finishes in them. And I'm not talking like this finish advances the storyline. These are just crap finishes, or finishes that really bother me, like with the Cruiserweight shit. So that means it's a very average show. It's a 5 out of 10 sort of thing. The main event bumps it up to 6, in my opinion, because I'm nice, and that is what I'm thinking. I'm going to go with a 6 out of 10. Ladies and gentlemen, next up is a show that I know a lot of you are looking forward to seeing. I know this because so many of you have told me, both on messages and in person. Next time out, I'm going to be doing SummerSlam 2002, which I think is an absolutely fantastic show. Got it on DVD and everything. Ladies and gentlemen, I have been your host, Mark P. Let me know what you think down here. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. And I'll be back very soon. Take it easy, guys. Thanks for watching.